ever been in a meeting, perhaps in a board meeting or in a senior leadership meeting in your business or work, and you felt like you're being overlooked? Has it ever happened to you before? In this video, I'm going to share with you one simple strategy that will automatically prevent you from being overlooked at work. There's a lot of people that make this mistake all of the time, and they don't really think about why they're being overlooked at work. They're not really quite sure. They're saying the right things, doing the right things, but for some reason they continually to be overlooked at work. So if you've ever experienced this as a woman in leadership, feel free to let me know. This is going to be a very, very insightful video for you, because this will give you an opportunity to think about some of those things, those issues that you might be doing that's causing you to be overlooked. Now, I do want to preface this by saying that I'm going to give you, generally speaking, one thing that I've seen that happens oftentimes when people are being overlooked at meetings at work. And I'm going to share it with you today. However, before I get started, there's a couple things I have to do as a disclaimer. Number one, this is a live video. So if you're watching this video right now, you're watching a replay. And thank you so much for spending some time with me today to learn how you can avoid being overlooked at work. And it's a lot of times it's not your ideas. It's not what you're saying. It's just one thing I'm going to share with you in a minute. This is a live video, so there typically is a point in time where the audience will join. And if you're watching the replay like you're watching now, give me just a few moments. I do want to make sure I say hello to everyone that joins the live today and greet them and talk to them for a few moments. And then just give me a bit of time so that I can make sure that I tell you why you might be being overlooked at work and it's not your ideas. I do want to have one thing I do want to mention as a complete disclaimer. If you have watched my channel for any point in time, this is not my normal voice, okay? So I want to let you all know that one of my kids has the flu, and I've inadvertently probably caught the flu too. So I'm not at my 100% today. So if it feels like I'm not as energetic as I normally am, it's only because the flu has touched me. So I apologize in advance. You all know I'm a lot more energetic. It's just the flu has gotten me, and I just want you all to know that I'm normally very, very high energy. So just bear with me, but I still made sure that I'm committed to you all, and I'm going to be live for you here present, even if I'm feeling a bit under the weather. So I want to say hello to Rosalind Brown. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Easy Stories. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Easy Stories, subscribe. Well, thank you. I appreciate you, Easy Stories. Easy Stories, I have to give you a disclaimer. I normally don't sound like this. I actually, one of my kids has the flu, and I think I've gotten the flu too. So I normally do not sound like this. I'm a lot more high energy, but I appreciate you all for subscribing. If you want to know why you might be being overlooked at work, I'm going to share it in just a few moments. And if you like this content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I talk about how you can communicate at a higher level as a leader all the time. This is what my expertise is. So let me make sure I say hello to everybody. Mr. Reaper, hello, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Mr. Reaper, subscribe. Well, I appreciate you, Mr. Reaper. As I said, I normally am more high energy. It's just I'm under the weather, but I still make sure I'm present here for my audience. Okay, so we have Easy Stories says, I like turtles. Okay, well, fantastic. And let's see, Rosalind Brown says, please read, can you call me mushy? Okay, okay, Rosalind. Well, we'll go with that. Let me know where y'all are joining from in the big, beautiful world today. Let me know, and I apologize. I sound not my normal self. I'm a little under the weather. We have Lupe. Hello, welcome, welcome. Lorraine Suarez. Hello, welcome, welcome. Welcome back, Lorraine. Glad to see you here again. All right, so let's see. What else is going on? Easy Stories. By any chance, do you like turtles? Turtles are nice. I think they're very nice animals. They are very nice. So I will answer that by saying yes, I think they're nice. Now, if you've ever been overlooked in a meeting, a lot of times it's not your ideas. It's not your ideas, leaders. It's not. But what happens in terms of why you may be overlooked in a meeting comes down to one simple strategy. Something that you are probably doing unconsciously that you are not aware that you are doing. Are you ready? This happens a lot of times, especially with the clients I work with. I've seen it happen many times. And the reason why you may be overlooked in a meeting is because of your nonverbal gestures. So you may be wondering, well, what do you mean? What is nonverbal gestures? For those of you who are new to the channel, nonverbal gestures are the things, the facial expressions, the body language, the body movements that you are doing when you're not speaking. Therefore, if you are in a meeting and people are overlooking you, there may be something that you are doing with your facial expressions or your body language that is preventing you from being noticed. I'll give you an example. What I've seen a lot of times that happens. And before I go into that, let me see what's going on in the chat. Easy Stories says, I gotta go. Bye. Thank you. Absolutely, Easy Stories. Welcome to the audience. Welcome to the exceptional leaders here on YouTube. So I appreciate you being here, and feel free to watch the replay because I'm going to go into some other scenarios in just a moment of why you may be overlooked in meetings. Scenarios where you may be overlooked include the following. You may be that type of person that has a very hard time managing and controlling your facial expressions. What do I mean by that? You may be this individual. Let me know in the comments below if you feel like you're this individual. You may be the person where someone says something and you just can't hide it in your face. You just have to either make that frown or laugh or just roll your eyes. You may be that person. And if you are that person, people may be overlooking you in meetings. Now, you may be saying, well, that's just how I am, right? That's just how I am. That's just the way I communicate. Well, if you're trying to elevate your communication skills and go to that next level as a leader, then this is a strategy. This is a technique that you absolutely want to master. Many times people are overlooked by their facial expressions. And if you're the person that has a hard time controlling it, then reach out to me for an executive strategy session so we can talk about how we can help you to start managing this. If you're trying to elevate and really go to that next level as a leader, feel free to please learn from my over 20 years of experience as a C-suite executive, as a manager, as a director, being in very friendly situations, very contentious situations to help you go to that next level. But this is a skill you have to learn how to master. You can still be your authentic self at work. Like, you can always be your authentic self. However, you want to make sure that you are controlling how your facial expressions are being shown, because if you are automatically showing your emotional side in terms of how you're communicating by your facial expressions, people are going to overlook you when it comes to meetings. They just will. They will just ignore you and say, oh, well, okay, she's making a face, and they just bypass you. And if you're watching this channel, I don't want that to happen to you. Another reason why people may struggle with this is, let's say if you're that person that just shows your emotions, okay, that's fine. Let's try to work on it to control them in terms of your facial expressions. But another reason that comes up sometimes is that people are just, they don't know what to say. They really don't know what to say. And so oftentimes, instead of maybe the more emotional type of facial expressions, they may be at a setting where they just are straight-faced all the time. Like, there's no animation, there's no expressions in their face because they simply just don't know what to say. These individuals are overlooked also because it's basically, when you're thinking about being overlooked or being noticed in a meeting and in your workplace, if you're trying to advance yourself for promotions or grow your businesses and etc., what happens oftentimes is that if you have no emotion on your face, then people just bypass you. People are visual. They're looking to see who's engaging, who's making eye contact, who's looking, who's smiling, who's frowning. And if you constantly are in that situation where you don't know what to say, you don't know how to say it, and you just have this blank look on your face all the time, people will overlook you. They will completely overlook you in meetings and overlook you for those big projects because they don't feel like there's any energy there, okay? So you want to make sure you're not doing that. These type of situations come up all of the time. And if you're watching this video, then obviously you want to make sure that you're not being overlooked. And if you can start to have a bit more animation, a bit more energy, a bit more charisma, then people will not overlook you. You may be wondering, okay, well, now we have two reasons why people are overlooked in meetings. A lot of it deals with your nonverbal gestures. So what can I do? How can I not be overlooked in a meeting? Let me know in the comments below if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever been overlooked in a meeting? Tell me why. Tell me if this ever happened. So what you can do. So one of the things that I would encourage you to do is definitely watch the videos on my channel. I talk a lot about body language and your eye contact and etc. One of the best ways to not be overlooked is by making eye contact. Now, I talk about this a lot on my channel. I give you the cowboy analogy. So if you're new to me, you know the cowboy analogy is something I use all the time. So you definitely want to take a look at my live videos and learn about the cowboy analogy because it will help you. I promise you. If there's nothing else, I guarantee you, cowboy analogy will absolutely change your life. It will. Make sure you do it. If you're trying to go to that next level as a leader or in any realm of your business or in woman in leadership, man in leadership, it doesn't matter. Cowboy analogy will change your life. So definitely check out my live videos. There's a lot of information. A lot of times I talk about that. Just watch some of the eye contact lives. That'll probably be able to be the fastest way because I know I probably talked about it in the video. But eye contact is going to be a great, fantastic way for you to be able to start engaging with your audience when you're communicating with them in a meeting and to make it in a way to where you're not being that passive person or that overly emotional person in a meeting. Eye contact is important. What your lips and your eyebrows are doing are just as important also. So if you have your eyebrows lifted up, then you're showing some expression, some energy there. If your eyebrows are down, you're showing some energy there. If you are looking straight face, you're showing no energy there. But if you are smiling, then you're showing energy. If you're frowning, then you're showing energy. So if you want to not be overlooked in a meeting, then work on your facial expressions. There's a couple things I talked to my email list about in terms of the different types of smiles you have. If you want to learn more about that, then feel free to subscribe to my email list. But I've sent them this before. There's different ways you can smile. There's certain times when you smile, when you don't smile. There's certain smiles you have to actually train yourself to do, believe it or not, and practice. So keep that in mind. If you don't want to be overlooked in a meeting, then work on your facial expressions. Now, we talk more about your facial expressions, but your body language plays a big part into this also. How you are positioning yourself is really important. Now, if you want me to go into more detail on body language, I have a video on my YouTube channel. This is not a live. Well, I believe I have some lives on there to talk about body language, but I do have a specific video on body language that is in my pre-recorded videos. However, it's an older video. So if you want me to go into more detail about body language and how you can show that body language in terms of what you are doing and how you can make sure that you are not being overlooked in meetings, then let me know. Put it in the comments below. I will absolutely be able to do a video just for you. All right, let's see who else has joined. Pro BTC, welcome back, friend. How are you doing today? Sorry, I'm under the weather today, Pro BTC. So this is not my normal high energy as I normally am. I'm under the weather, but I wanted to make sure I'm here for my audience. So what's Pro BTC talking about? Pro BTC says markets dumping. Okay, well, tell me more. Tell me a little bit more about what's going on and share it with the group. Leonardo, hello, Leonardo. Welcome. Hi, I'm your fan. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you like this information, you like this content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I know you're just joining, but I was just sharing with everyone what happens, why you're being overlooked in meetings. And the root cause of it, a lot of times, can be your facial expressions, your nonverbal gestures. We just talked about how there's different facial expressions that may cause people to overlook you. If you are that highly emotional person that has a hard time controlling your facial expressions, people overlook you because they think you're being way too emotional. Or if you're that person that has just the blank stare and you don't know what to do or what to say, and you show no emotion, then they will obviously be in a situation where they are just not paying attention to you, and you'll be overlooked for that as well. The balance in terms of not being overlooked in a meeting is to have a mix of both. So there's times in meetings or in business meetings or in leadership meetings where you need to show no emotion. It depends on the topic. Sometimes you need to make sure the audience in the room knows this is something that you have no emotion about. But there are times when the audience or the people in your leadership group or your business or etc., where they need to know and need to feel some energy from you as a leader. And so that's when you use your smiles, your elevated eyebrows, as we talked about just a few moments ago, before a couple of you joined, and a few other gestures also. There's times when you need to show that you're not happy. And you may think, why would you ever do that? If you are following my channel, you know there's times where you have to be very strategic in terms of how you communicate. And if you're communicating something you don't like, then yes, you may need to frown. Maybe people on YouTube don't talk about this, but this is a strategy to this. You don't necessarily need to communicate like this all the time, but then you'll be overlooked. But there are times when you have to strategically use a frown or a scowl when you're trying to make a point. Now, if you like this, then let me know in the comments below, because as I mentioned at the beginning, I've been in very friendly situations, very contentious situations. So this is something that happens all the time. Now, let me go back to the chat. Okay, Leonardo said, you are very cool. Well, thank you, Leonardo. I appreciate you for making that comment. And let me know, Leonardo, if you have any questions as it relates to being overlooked in meetings, or perhaps any questions as it relates to communicating, being a leader, developing your executive presence. I'm here really to support you any way that I can. I have a very heavy focus on communication on my channel. I truly believe that people become great by how they communicate, and so that's my main focus here. All right, Leonardo is from Brazil. Okay, well, hello. I'm so glad that you are joining here from Brazil. Awesome, very good. Well, everybody, let me know if you have any questions. And as I mentioned at the very beginning, I appreciate you all for just being present and joining today. I apologize sincerely in advance. You know, I'm a lot more high energy than this. I'm under the weather, but I still wanted to make sure I'm present for you all, even though I'm not feeling well, and still provide you with some value to help you as you are navigating sometimes these very friendly and sometimes very treacherous waters of the world of leadership that we experience sometimes. So let me know if you have any questions specifically as it relates to this. And if you have any videos, any topics, please feel free to ask me anything. I have one topic that I'm planning on talking a bit more about here this week as it relates to confidential conversations. It's something that the forensic accountant actually mentioned that I should do more of a detailed video on. I'm going to try and see if I do it tomorrow. Hopefully I feel a little bit better. If not, I may have to put that off to next week. But if you have any topics, if you're facing any challenges right now as a leader, let me know. My audience that I focus with is leaders. My target audience in the business is women in leadership, but I have a lot of men in leadership like Leonardo that's present, that I'm here to support you just as much, because leadership transcends any gender. I mean, this is leadership regardless if you're a man or a woman. We all are leaders at the end of the day, and we struggle with some of the similar issues. Sometimes it's a little bit different depending on your gender. Men may face some challenges versus women may face some other challenges, and I do talk about those briefly. But regardless of who you are, if you're watching this video, I know you care about how you're presenting yourself as a leader, and I'm here to support you. So feel free, please let me know if there's anything you want to learn more about. What are you struggling with? What are the challenges you're facing right now as a leader? What do you need more help with? What do you wish that you would learn more information about? Let me know. Put it in the comments below. Please do. I read my comments. I will respond to them and provide you with some insight. And whenever that time comes and you have something that you want me to talk to you about or do a video on just for you, and I will do that, I will give you a shout out in the video. So feel free to make sure that you ask me anything. I'm here to really support you all on your journey. If you want to learn more about body language, check out my lives. This is where the magic happens here on YouTube on my channel. Most of the time, all of my videos right now, majority of them are lives. I do have some older pre-recorded videos that you're more than welcome to just check out that talk a bit about body language also. But my lives are probably my most current content, so feel free to take a look at them. I know there's times when we talk about eye contact. As I mentioned before, the cowboy analogy, it will change your life. It will change your life, friends. It will absolutely change your life. So definitely look at my videos that talk about eye contact. And this is a great way for you to start developing your executive presence as a leader and get to that next level and be that person that stands out from everybody else. So make sure you follow me. If you like this information, feel free to like the video. I appreciate you all for liking so far, and subscribe if this information resonates with you and it sounds like the best place for you to be. I'm here to share with you real strategies, real techniques, real scenarios. I'm not here to tell you theories of leadership and concepts of leadership models. No, I'm here to share with you what I've experienced in the trenches, so to speak, as a leader. And oftentimes on YouTube, you'll have individuals or executive coaches like myself that have worked with people in leadership roles, but they've never actually managed people. They've never actually worked with teams and built teams from scratch. built revenue, and etc. So if you definitely want to learn more of real strategies, this is the best place for you to be here on YouTube. So I appreciate you all for being here today, and feel free to just let me know if you need support with anything, if you need me to do a video for you on anything. I'm really here to help you, and I appreciate you being patient with me while I'm under the weather. Hopefully tomorrow I'll feel a little bit better and my energy will be back. But if not, I'm still going to be here just for you all, okay? I'm still going to be here even if I don't feel well, so I can provide you all with some value, with something that will help you. So I'll see you in the next video, and I'm looking forward to supporting you on your journey. Bye for now.